So today we're talking about total and lateral surface area, and this is in regards to 3D figures. But it's actually surface area is the area of the faces that make up this 3D figure. Okay, and so we have an example problem here, and it's actually just a 3D figure that's been opened up kind of like a cardboard box. So this is another way that we could have opened it. And you'll see that it's the same thing. We have a square base and 4 triangular sides. In the figure, though, they're just going around the base. Okay. So within surface area, we have 2 types that we're going to learn about today, lateral and total. Lateral surface area is the surface area of just the sides. So it would just be the triangles in this pyramid, right? Total surface area, the definition is pretty intuitive. It includes the base. It is the complete surface area of all of the faces. So let's go ahead and try an example problem. The net of a square pyramid is shown below. What is the lateral and the total surface area of the square pyramid? So I'm going to go ahead and box in my key information. We have the words square, pyramid. Now in this figure, it's pretty easy to determine what our base is because we need that information for our lateral and total surface area, right? Because in lateral, we do not need the base. So in this image, it's pretty obvious, but in other 3D figures later on in 7th grade, it won't be so obvious. So another way to determine what your base looks like and how to figure it out, the words square pyramid, the name of the shape tells us the shape of our base. Our base will be a square, and the word pyramid tells us that we have 1 base. If this was a prism, we would have 2 bases. Okay, so I know that I'm looking for 1 base in my figure, and I see 1 square base. And this in my figure is the 1 square that I have. So that is the base for this figure. Now the question's asking, what is the lateral and the total surface area of the square pyramid? So we're going to be finding 2 different surface areas in this figure today. So to start out, I've already shaded in my base, identified that, and now I'm going to find any common figures to simplify my my math. I noticed that all 4 of these triangles are identical. They're congruent. They have the same base of 8 centimeters and the same height of 6 centimeters. So I'm going to label them the same, A, and then the base is the only different shape, so I'm going to label that V. Okay. Now that I've labeled my figures, I'm going to first solve for the lateral surface area. So I'm just going to write the word lateral up here. And I know that these are triangles, and the formula to find the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. And if you don't remember that formula, it is on your star chart, which can be found in Schoology or even Google. So now that I have my formula written, I'm going to replace my letters with the numbers that I know. It's also called plugging in. So my area of a triangle is equal to 1/2. My base is 8 centimeters. And my height is 6 centimeters. Okay. I've just replaced my base and my height. Now, according to GEMDAS, we start with grouping. We don't have any brackets with things happening inside. We also don't have any exponents, so the next letter in GEMDAS is multiplication. And all of this is multiplying, so it doesn't really matter what you multiply first. I'm just going to go left to right. So the area of the triangle is equal to 1/2 times 8. Anything times 1/2 is the same thing as dividing it by 2. So 8 divided by 2 is 4 centimeters. And I still have to multiply that 6 centimeters. So my last multiplication for this is 4 times 6 is 24. Now you'll notice I'm doing centimeters times centimeters, so my unit now is centimeters squared. Okay, that is for the area of one triangle, but we have 4 of them around our pyramid, right? So I'm going to go ahead and just do 4 triangles is equal to 4 times 24 centimeters squared. And I'll do the math over here for you. 24 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. Drop the 6, carry the 1. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So for 4 triangles, the surface area is 96 centimeters squared. And this is your lateral surface area of this square pyramid. Notice how I'm boxing in my answer and labeling it. We really need to practice the process of writing your formula, plugging in and solving, and then boxing in your answer. Staying organized will help as these problems get more complicated. So now that I've solved for the lateral, I'm going to find the total surface area. And the only thing left to include is my base, right? And my base is a square, so I know that the formula for area of a square is base times height, right? So I'm going to plug in here. My base is 8 centimeters, and my height, since it's a square, right, all edges are the same distance, so my height is 8 centimeters as well. Now I multiply. 8 times 8 is 64, and again, this is centimeters squared. Okay, so that is the area of my base. But we are not quite done yet because we need to find the total area, right? So I'll go ahead and go down here. So the total surface area will be our lateral surface area plus our base. It is all sides. If we had a prism, there'd be 2 bases, right? So we would have to multiply this by 2 and then combine them, right? But this is just a pyramid, so we only have 1 base. So now I'm going to plug in my total. The lateral is 96 centimeters squared. My base is 64 centimeters squared. And I'll show that addition over here. 96 plus 64. 6 plus 4 is 10. Drop the 0, carry the 1. 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 6 is 16. So my total surface area is 160 centimeters squared. And again, I box in my final answer and identify it with the red to help you out. Okay, so that is how you find the lateral and total surface area of 3D figures.